What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's certainly been a minute. I just was learning this story and I just thought this was so funny. I had to share it with everybody I know. Maybe the one or two of you that might actually give a shit, but this is in the entertainment business. We have Indiana Jones 5 coming out with a fucking billion-year-old Harrison Ford. Okay, that is disrespectful. I am a huge fan. I grew up watching the first three. Fourth one was terrible. I mean, God, Shia LaBeouf, whatever his name is, catching up to cars by swinging on vines. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, but the first three, don't let that one ruin it. Okay, if you go back and you watch the first three, excellent. But this is very funny. Phoebe Waller Bridge, that's all I know about her. She's a feminist author, and she jumped in on this movie, and she's going to be in front of the camera in this film as Indy's sidekick. But we all know how this goes post 2017, post Ghostbusters. She's going to be better than him, smarter than him, braver than him, and more clever than him, better at fighting probably. Well, he is 80. So that's not disrespectful. He actually is 80 years old, I believe. So but the ending just went to test screening, and a couple people that saw it leaked out to, better channels than this. Critical Drinker as heel versus babyface. If you're into this stuff, I highly recommend all of them. Nerdotic, all these guys are good. And they all came up, Doomcock said the same thing. They were right. It's a bait and switch. Another one, like He-Man. Indy dies. Indy doesn't just die, though, because they go back in time and they meet young Indy. And young Indy, before Raiders, Temple of Doom, all that, dies, erasing old Indy, erasing all the adventures. So Phoebe Waller Bridge puts on the hat and the whip, and then the closing is like Photoshop versions of her doing all the thing, shooting the guy who's good with the sword, drinking from the Holy Grail, fighting in the Temple of Doom against the guy that would pull your heart out. All of this, but with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. They're literally going back in time and erasing Indiana Jones from existence, the character, and giving all of his accolades to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, which is pretty impressive for Phoebe that they would do this for her. But it's hilarious because the director came out, no, that's not happening. That's not what happens. And he called all these guys, called it Doomcock, Drinker, all of them. You guys are a bunch of basement-dwelling, neckbeard trolls. That's totally not what happens in the end. And then he just released, but now public release is going to be pushed back several months to a year for massive reshoots, including completely redoing the ending. Nothing to look at here, folks. Nothing to see here. We're just redoing the ending. But no, that wasn't the ending at all. Yeah, this seems... The year-long reshoots is a habit of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't know anything else she's been in. I know this one, and I know No Time to Die, the last James Bond. She was brought in, I'm not making this up, guys, to give it a, quote, Me Too feel. Yes, that's right. She was brought in to feminize, emasculate Bond and empower Lashana Lynch. And in an interview, I'm not making this up, I found the interview. I thought maybe I did. I was like, did I dream that? No, it was an interview with The Guardian. Lashana Lynch, the female black girl 007, is said, and I quote, I'm almost word for word here. I'm going off the top of my head, but it was in there. I sat down with Phoebe Waller-Bridge to decide what kind of character she's going to be. And she's like a real woman, She comes out of the bathroom. We're going to pretend this is a tampon. With her tampon, and then throws it in the bin, and Bond's like, ugh, because apparently in England, they don't have fucking trash cans in the ladies' room. She has to come out and show it to everybody, and then throw it away. How disgusting. Said she, quote, picks her nose, she digs out wedgies, and then she went to the world's worst prediction in history, said, yeah, I think it's great we're at a time now where we're not trying to make you, the customer, the paying customer, happy. No, we're just making what we want to make, and we'll cast anybody, and it's great. We live in a time, again, I'm quoting Lashana Lynch here, that it doesn't matter who we cast at Bond. He can be a man, a woman, white, black, Asian. It could cast a 2-year-old, and you idiots, you viewers, will pay us money to show up and see what this 2-year-old's going to do with the role of Bond. Yes, she said that. And obviously not, because they went to test screening and it was mostly women that said, dude, we don't want to watch some nasty B word picking her nose and digging wedgies. No, believe it or not, women, it turns out women are not tired of tall, handsome British gentlemen kicking ass and saving the day. They love that. That is their porn, okay? And so they didn't want to see it. So again, that's why James Bond, the last one, cost $900 million to make, because they put it on hold for a year and then an entire year of reshoots to cut out the nose picking and the wedgie and the showing everyone her tampon as she leaves the ladies' room before disposing of it and giving Bond back his balls. So, which they still took away in some parts of the film. Spoiler alert. But this just seems funny to me, okay? I don't know anything else Phoebe Waller Bridge has done. All I know is she was brought in as a writer for James Bond, and because of her and all the things they had to reshoot that she wrote, it was the most expensive movie in history. An entire extra year ended up costing $900 million. A whole other ad campaign where they said, Lashana, don't say anything about picking your nose. Daniel Craig, pretend that you didn't say it's time for a woman to take over the mantle and that a man should play. A whole new ad campaign. That added to the cost too. And now I don't know how expensive this new Indiana Jones 5 is going to be, but another year of reshoots to undo everything Phoebe Waller-Bridge wrote into the film. How awesome is that? But she still gets to be the star of it, because in Hollywood, if you've got jugs, you fail upward. It's just how it goes. If the movie tanks and makes no money, you lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, you know, it's this misogynist right here's fault for not giving you his money. That's right. It's you have to now, according to Hollywood, give your money to the same people that visited Epstein's Island and covered for Weinstein to prove you're not sexist. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, that's a whole nother tangent, but I just think it's funny. Only two projects I know Phoebe Waller-Bridge was a part of. Both of them require year-long reshoots to get rid of all the crap that she wrote. She is the most expensive writer probably in history, and Hollywood just keeps pushing her, and somehow she still climbs the ladder. So I guess good for her, but bad for the fans, unfortunately.